I'm sure you all have heard about the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. What if I told you that this law is violated for a brief moment in time through virtual particles? What are virtual particles, you ask? Well, virtual particles are simply disturbances in a field that cannot be observed. And they relate to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which states that the position of a particle cannot be accurately measured. Imagine two people on a skateboard tossing a basketball back and forth. We can detect the effects of the basketball in the beginning and end as the two people move apart. The conservation of energy is upheld at the beginning and end. However, in the middle of its travel, we cannot exactly detect the basketball. For all we know, the basketball could become a soccer ball or become two basketballs. The ambiguity of the middle represents the existence of virtual particles. Now, this basketball analogy relates to how a particle, like an electron, traveling from one spot to another, doesn't exactly stay the same. For example, an electron can turn into a virtual photon and then quickly turn back into a real electron. Virtual particles jumble up what exactly occurs with particles and their interactions. But always remember that energy and momentum are conserved at the end. Right now you might be thinking,
okay, where's the evidence of virtual particles if we cannot even observe them?
well, my friend, we have detected the effects of virtual photons through the Casimir effect experiment. The Casimir effect demonstrates that a vacuum, or a space ideally devoid of matter, is filled with a sea of virtual particles called quantum foam. When two highly reflective metal plates are very close to each other in a vacuum, the plates come together. This is the result of certain wavelengths of virtual photons able to fit inside the plates, so virtual photons with greater wavelengths cannot fit inside the plates. Since virtual photons of any energy and wavelength can exist outside the plates, the number of virtual photons is now greater outside the plates than between them, creating an imbalance. Thus, there is a net force pushing the plates together. So technically, a vacuum doesn't exist. Virtual particles in the space. I mean, yes, those vacuums exist. I mean saying nothing exists because virtual particles are always popping in and out of existence.